I want to tell you something I've never really said out loud. I was not bad with money because I was irresponsible. I was not bad with money because I didn't care. I was bad with money because I genuinely, sincerely believed things that were completely wrong. Things my parents said, things my friends did, things the culture just told me over and over until they felt like facts. And I didn't find out they were lies until I was 40 years old, sitting across from a financial advisor, realizing I had maybe a quarter of what I should have saved by that point in my life. That was a bad afternoon. So today, I'm going to give you the 10 money lies I believed the longest, with real stories, real numbers, and real consequences. So you don't have to sit across from someone at 40 and do the math I did. Let's go. Lie number 1, I'll start saving when I make more money. This was my longest lie. I told it to myself at 22, at 26, at 31. Meet Vanessa, a dental hygienist in Phoenix making $52,000. She's been saying this for 6 years. The problem? Her lifestyle has grown with every raise she's ever gotten. At $42,000, she needed more money to save. At $52,000, she still needs more money to save. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it is the reason more income doesn't automatically mean more savings. Here's the truth. You don't save what's left over. You save first, and you live on what's left. The amount matters less than the habit. Vanessa saving $75 a month at 28 is worth more than Vanessa saving $500 a month starting at 38. Time is the ingredient money can't buy back. Lie number 2, renting is throwing money away. This one comes from parents, it comes from in-laws, it comes from that one coworker who bought a house in 2018 and won't let anyone forget it. Meet Derek and Simone, a couple in their early 30s in Atlanta. They rushed into buying a house because they felt like renting was wasting money. 2 years in, they've paid $9,000 in HOA fees, $6,000 in repairs, and they need to move for a job, and now they can't, because selling in a down market would cost them more than staying. Here's the truth. Renting buys you flexibility, liquidity, and freedom from surprise expenses. Owning builds equity, but only if you stay long enough, buy right, and the market cooperates. Neither is universally better. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. The worst financial decision isn't renting, it's buying a house before you're ready, because someone made you feel ashamed for renting. Lie number 3, I deserve this. I work hard. Oh, I love this one. This one had a whole speech attached to it. Meet Ramon, 35, a project manager in Chicago. After a brutal quarter at work, he booked a $4,200 vacation on a credit card. Not because he planned it, not because he had the money, because he'd worked so hard and he deserved it. The vacation was great. The 14 months of minimum payments that followed were not. Here's the truth. You probably do deserve nice things. But I deserve it is not a budget. Deserving something and being able to afford it are two completely different sentences. The people who consistently build wealth have learned to find a version of enjoyment that doesn't require debt, or they save up and pay cash, which makes the thing feel more earned, not less. Lie number 4. Investing is for rich people / it's too complicated for me. Meet Claire, 38, an elementary school teacher in Ohio. For 12 years, Claire had a 403b retirement account available through her school district with employer matching. She never enrolled because she figured investing was something people with MBAs did. She left over $40,000 in employer matching on the table. That's free money her school district was offering her. Gone. Here's the truth. A target date fund in a 401k or IRA requires approximately zero financial expertise. You pick the year you plan to retire, and the fund does the rest. That's it. The complexity of investing is a myth that keeps regular people out of the market and keeps the gap between the wealthy and everyone else exactly where it is. You don't need to understand the stock market. You need to be in it. Lie number 5. My income is the problem, not my spending. This is the most defensive lie on the list because it's partially true, which makes it dangerous. Meet Troy, 41, a logistics coordinator making $67,000 a year. Troy has been certain for a decade that if he just made $80,000, everything would click. What Troy hasn't looked at closely, $340 a month in subscriptions he barely uses, $600 a month eating out, $180 a month in impulse Amazon purchases. That's $1,120 a month, $13,440 a year, in spending Troy has never fully examined. Here's the truth. Income matters, but so does the gap between what comes in and what goes out. Before blaming the income, spend 30 days actually tracking the spending. Most people are genuinely shocked by what they find, not because they're reckless, but because small numbers are invisible until they're added up. Lie number 6, I'll pay off the credit card next month. Meet Angela, 29, a graphic designer who has been paying next month for 3 years on a $6,800 credit card balance at 22.99% interest. She's paid over $3,900 in interest so far. The balance is $6,400. She has paid nearly $4,000 to almost eliminate a debt that started at $6,800. The card has eaten 4,000 real dollars and the balance is barely budged. Here's the truth. Credit card interest is one of the most destructive financial forces in a regular person's life. Not because it's dramatic, but because it's invisible and patient. It doesn't announce itself. It just quietly makes sure that everything you buy costs 20% to 25% more than the price tag said. If you have high interest debt right now, it is the highest guaranteed return you can get on your money to pay it off. Nothing in the market beats a guaranteed 22% return. Lie number 7. My financial situation is too messed up to fix. This is the lie that keeps people frozen. Meet Sandra, 44. At 39, Sandra had $23,000 in credit card debt, a car loan, 0 savings, and had just gone through a divorce. She genuinely believed she had waited too long and broken too many things. She did not buy that lie. She found a nonprofit credit counselor. She built a $1,000 emergency fund, first just $1,000. Then she attacked the smallest debt, then the next. It took 4.5 years, but at 44, Sandra has no consumer debt, $11,000 in savings, and is contributing to a retirement account for the first time in her life. Here's the truth. The math of personal finance is almost always fixable. What's not fixable is staying stuck because you've decided it's too late. It is not too late. The second best time to start is today. Lie number 8. My partner handles the money I don't need to know. This one causes real pain, and I want to say it gently. This lie leaves people genuinely vulnerable. Meet Patricia, 52. For 22 years, her husband handled all the finances. She knew they had accounts. She didn't know the passwords, the balances, or whether there was a will. When he passed away unexpectedly, Patricia spent the first 6 weeks of her grief also trying to figure out basic financial facts about her own life. Here's the truth. In any partnership, both people need to know the full financial picture accounts, passwords, debts, insurance, estate documents. This isn't about distrust. It's about dignity and protection. No one should be financially blind inside their own household. Schedule a monthly money date, 30 minutes, both people present. Know what you have. This video is sponsored by Daily Income Method, a powerful way to earn consistent and residual income. If you're creating content, building a brand, or even just getting started online, monetization can feel overwhelming. That's where Daily Income Method comes in. Their affiliate program connects you with a high-converting offer you can share with your audience and earn commissions for every successful referral. What I love about it is how simple it is. You sign up, get your custom tracking links, and start promoting a real product everyone needs. No complicated tech, just a straightforward system designed to help you earn while providing real value. Whether you're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or running a blog, this is a practical way to build an additional income stream. And the best part, you're not selling something random. You're promoting a product that everyone needs and can genuinely help people. If you've been looking for a smart way to diversify your income, this could be your move. Click the link in the description to learn more and get started. Now, let's get back to the video. Lie number 9. I don't need life insurance / an emergency fund. Nothing bad will happen to me. Meet Kevin, 37, a contractor in Nashville. Healthy, active, 2 kids. He kept putting off both the emergency fund and the term life insurance policy because he was young and it felt abstract. In March, he fell off a roof on a job site. 6 weeks off work, no short-term disability, no emergency fund. His wife went back to work full-time overnight. They nearly lost the house. Kevin recovered fully. Their marriage took 2 years to recover from the financial stress. Here's the truth. Insurance and emergency funds are not for likely events. They're for the one event that happens to you in your lifetime that you never saw coming. The cost of preparing is small. The cost of not preparing when that one thing happens is enormous. Lie number 10. Talking about money is rude/private/ not something we do. Slow down here, this one's the deepest. This might be the most expensive lie on the list because it protects all the other lies. Meet the Chen family 3 adult siblings in their 40s who never talked about money growing up. As a result, one sibling has been quietly supporting their aging parents alone for 3 years without telling the others. One sibling has no idea their parents have no long-term care plan, and all 3 are guessing about what happens to the family home when their parents pass a conversation that will likely fracture the family when it finally happens. Here's the truth. The silence around money is not politeness. It is avoidance. And avoidance compounds. The families who talk about money, who discuss salaries, debt, retirement, and inheritance, openly make better decisions, fight less, and protect each other more effectively. You don't have to announce your net worth at Thanksgiving, but you do need to talk to the people you love about real numbers when real things are at stake. The real lesson. Here's what all 10 of these lies have in common. They were comfortable. Every single one of them let me not do something, not save yet, not invest, not look at the statement, not have the conversation. The lies weren't random, they were shields. They protected me from the discomfort of confronting where I actually was. And the thing about financial discomfort is that it doesn't go away when you avoid it. It gets bigger, quieter, and bigger. The moment I stopped believing the lies wasn't some dramatic breakthrough. It was just a regular Tuesday when I decided to look at the actual numbers, the real ones, and stop telling myself a story about why they weren't really that bad. They were that bad, and then I started fixing them. That's all it takes. Not a perfect plan, not a windfall, just the decision to look clearly and then take one step. So which of these 10 hit you the hardest? For me, it was lie number 1 and lie number 10. 40 years of, I'll start when I make more, in a family that never talked about money once at the dinner table. I'm not telling you this to make you feel behind. I'm telling you because behind is a starting point, not a destination. You now know 10 things I didn't know until I was 40. That means you're already ahead of where I was. Do something with it. If this video was helpful, hit subscribe, like, and share. I make helpful videos regularly. Post your comment below. Which lie did you believe the longest?